Hi everyone. It is Tuesday and I'm back. I'm just setting up some screens here. Okay. Just got to get all my notes in order. So, all right, and I'm just checking. Yes, everything's good. And is Facebook going to work for me today? We will see. Hopefully you can hear me. I can't see any comments, so Facebook is not playing the game. Just let me get on my phone and double check. Oh, here we go. Finally, it has brought my comments up. Okay, hi Jennifer and Di. Good to see you on here. Kim's on as well, which is awesome. All right. Okay, I'm just checking. Oh my, I haven't been on for a couple of weeks, so it's yeah, I'm all over the place, but I am back in my studio, which is feeling good. It has been a while. I've been in Tassie doing art retreats, which has been a lot of fun. And yeah, great catching up, especially with a lot of my Creative Bum members that attend the art retreats. So it's always even though some of them have never met each other, we see each other a lot on our Zoom sessions. So whenever we do get together, it's like we've known each other for a long time and we're just catching up. So always lots of laughs and good times. So and we do a lot of art in that time. We don't just sit and chat the whole time. We actually get some work done. So all right. So today I thought I would talk about turning your one piece of art into multiple products. I know we have chatted about this in the past, merchandising your art. I've got an itchy nose. But I was very inspired while I was on my art retreat. For those that were there as well, I know Di was. We went to Bay of Fires, and before we got there, we stopped at a little place called St. Helens, and we were lucky enough to be able to visit another artist studio. And her name is Kerri Aegis, I think is how you say it. And she was really welcoming, let us all in. And I was just really inspired by the way she has created her little business in a studio there and her huge range of products. So I thought it would be a good chat. So I'm just checking everything is fine. Um, so I'll share her just I took a couple of photos just to share so you can see how wonderful her studio is. And it's also, I think, depending, I suppose you can do this wherever you live. You've just got to tap into the right tourist markets. So she has this amazing studio. Let me share my screen. Um, that well, I've just got to get the photo up first. My computer's probably going to have a meltdown because I've got so many screens open. I just want to share just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Okay, so this is a tourist town, St. Helens. It's just before you get to Binalong Bay on the Bay of Fires. And it's in the perfect spot. Her little studio, she's owned it for many, many years. And it's right next to a very big and amazing cafe where most tourists are stopping. So you go for coffee, have your cake and your lunch, and her studio is right next door. So it's in the perfect spot in a tourist town. So this is in Tasmania, of course, and the Bay of Fires, if you've never heard of it, is quite a popular tourist destination for Tasmania. Okay. And I love her little studio. It's not huge, it doesn't need to be, but it's perfect and it's very cozy and welcoming. And this is Kerri inside the studio. And what she's doing is she actually works in there. I love that her hours, she doesn't open till 10. That's my perfect idea of a studio. That's the thing. If you have your own studio, you can set your own hours. The other thing, I think having a studio away from your house is a big game changer as well, because when you're at home, you always got other things where, like washing the dishes, laundry, all of that stuff. Whereas if you're actually going out to a studio in a different place, you feel like you're going to work, don't you? So when you're there, you're just focused on your business, what you've got to do. So that can be a big change as well. But you can just see in this photo, she has the most amazing range of merchandise. So Kerri paints, her work is large, which is what she's working on right now in that. She paints in acrylic. But what I loved is that her original piece is quite large, and then she makes a variety of prints out of that piece, but not like not like a G signed limited edition print, in a mat that costs like $100 or more, or probably more. Her prints, as you can see on the back wall, behind her there, they're all canvas prints that are framed in a float frame, and they look absolutely beautiful. And the customer doesn't have to do anything with that. They just buy it and can go straight on the wall. Whereas when you're selling, limited edition fancy prints, they've then got to get them framed and all the rest of it. So I really love this idea that these are canvas prints with a float frame in various sizes. But she said she always makes them smaller than her original because she likes whoever is buying her original to feel like they have the original and the largest one of that. So her prints are all a lot smaller, I suppose. But you can also see in this photo, she has notebooks there, which have the cover, like her artwork on the covers. She has mugs, she has mouse pads. She has like a huge variety of different things. And what I also liked, hold on, I need to get back to there. What I also liked was her shop had a huge variety for tourists, right from like, probably $3 or $4 bookmarks, right through to $400-$500 prints. But it wasn't just her work. So she had a huge amount there of different things with her artwork on, but she also had a couple of other local artists that were doing different things. So pottery or ceramic mugs, and then she had jewelry as well that were all locally made. So she's turned her art studio into a really great shop that she's marketing to a wide range of tourists in their price ranges as well. And she's also would gain commission off the other things like jewelry and coffee mugs and that she's selling. So yeah, so it was a great example and so inspiring for those that actually were at the retreat, which Julie on here as well as Di both got to go in. And yeah, it's just, if ever you get a chance to go to another artist studio like that, that is in a tourist town, and they've got it set up and doing a great business, always drop in and say g'day, because yeah, just inspires you and gives you new ideas for your own business. What I got from her, I didn't spend a fortune, but I did get this little print, and so her prints, like I was saying, they're not. When I go and get like a really good quality print made from a printer, it's on like proper cotton rag, archival paper. It costs a lot of money, So and when people are looking to buy a print, sometimes they don't want to spend a huge amount of money, but you've got to at least double your price to get some money back from that. Making them limited editions, of course, you can ask for more. But I feel like nowadays, now we can put our art on so many products that those limited edition signed prints don't seem to be as popular. I know we're more of this throwaway society, and a lot of the newer generations coming through, they're looking for beautiful art to put on their walls. But I feel like unless they're buying an original, then most are buying prints that are going to look great and color coordinate in their house with their decor. So that's why I really love the idea of her prints just being already in a float frame on canvas, and it really suits a more modern market. And it made me sort of think, well, wow, I could, because working in pastel, everything we do has to be behind glass. And I feel like they can still be beautiful behind glass. And I think we have to be very particular with our framing choices to make them still look modern, because that seems to be what people are after now. And the whole canvas in a float frame, all the rest really suits. There's no reflection on the glass, all the rest of it. So it made me think, wow, I might go back through some of my artwork and see about turning that, maybe modernizing it a bit by putting it on a canvas print into a floating frame, might make it look a bit more modern. So that's sort of one idea I got from her as well. And then so you could either buy the canvas prints, or you could buy little prints like this, okay, which I actually do as well. And I'm pretty sure it's the same company she gets them from, maybe. It's exactly the same size. Hers is a gloss finish. How beautiful is this? It's her version of Bay of Fires, which I absolutely loved. And I love the colors in it. So I grabbed that straight away, and it was only $10. And but the thing being, like I said, I actually do prints myself. Mine are in a velvet finish. That is the only difference. But people, like, I bought that knowing it's not an archival print. It's just on card. It's not going to last my lifetime, but it's absolutely beautiful. And it was only $10, and it's can sit here in my studio and remind me of my visit. And that, I feel, is what people want. People are more than happy when they're traveling, especially if they're in caravans or flying from interstate or overseas. They can't fit much in their luggage. So a print like that, and I know myself because I'm pretty sure it's the same place, they actually, depending how many you get, they're only a couple of dollars to print. Okay. So you're still making profit. You're targeting a great market there. And most people, when they visit, are happy to spend a small amount as a token, sort of to help to support the artists, but also to give themselves something beautiful. Am I even in shot here? Maybe this size better. Okay. So I'll let you know, I get my prints like this done from mixam.com.au. So it's mixam.com.au. And like I said, they're not archival, but they're beautiful quality. All of my most of my members have received one of these prints off me before, and they always comment on how great they are. So I thought that was just again another great idea. I'll just put that back up there. Of meeting the market. So you've got your original, which is quite a few $1,000 and a one-of, but then you've got your prints, which are ranging from probably 400 to 800 on canvas in a frame, ready for a customer just to grab it and throw it on the wall. And then you've got your little mementos and tokens like these smaller prints, bookmarks, tote bags, notebooks, mugs, all the rest of it. So she really had something for everyone. Okay. So that is what was inspiring me. I thought it was brilliant. So, let me check some comments here. Hi, Teresa and Bev as well. Broken Hill and Silverton have a plethora of working studios. Well, if I had a name that, I think I might have gone to the Silverton one, Viv. I didn't go to any in Broken Hill. But yeah, definitely if you get a chance to go to other artist studios, for sure. Great on a calendar. Yeah, definitely. She had calendars. And I also thought I liked her idea of calendars too, because I quite often, I'll do a calendar every year, but I make it an A4 that opens and you've got an A3, you've got to hang it on the wall. Whereas her calendars were just the small desk calendars, which I actually thought was a good idea because I'm not sure how many people hang their calendars anymore. But yeah, it was also another option as well. Yeah, she had little magnets, that's right. And yeah, they were very thin, just, this big, beautiful little magnets that, yeah, like Di said, you could post them so you can send them to friends and family as well. I'll put it in, Viv. The website is mixam.com.au, I think. Yeah. So, okay, now her her idea is her original is large. They're like thousands. And the owner of that original, because someone said, do you think the owner of the original would be upset that you're selling prints? But honestly, any artist usually sells prints of their work. The artist, you own the copyright to your work. Even if someone buys the original, you still own it, unless there's a contract and you sell that copyright with the original. But most people know an artist will sell prints, but they own the original, and that's sort of their thing that they're proud of. They own that. So I don't think anyone would really have any problem anyway, but they don't really have a right to have a problem. So yeah, her idea is the purchaser of the original gets the big one, pays the money. So she makes sure all her prints are smaller, quite a bit smaller, I suppose. Her originals are pretty large. So I think her prints, the biggest was probably a 60 centimeter by 40, maybe. But there's another way to think about it. And as long as you can take a very good high quality resolution image, you can paint small or draw small. I'm going to enter this little shell. Which way am I going to hold this? This little shell painting is going in a miniature or a competition. It may sell, but my main goal probably isn't to sell it. And if it sells, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't bother me because it takes up hardly any room. And I love doing these little small detailed works. So what I'm going to do is get this put on a canvas print, much larger, probably a 300 by 300 in a float frame, and see how it looks. So that is another option you can look at. if you want to just sell prints, you know, there's another one. There's another one. So I could do this was from photos I took of a lake with reflections. So I could do a series of these smaller ones and then make them bigger because as the size is small, like they look great, but they would look even better larger. And I could knock out a series of these much quicker than if I was doing really large paintings. So this was kind of, I did this as a practice to a future work. I want to do a larger piece of the reflections. I really love doing that, and I thought it looks beautiful. And I think water is quite calming for people as well. That's why I love looking at wave paintings. But the lake reflection ones I really like as well. So that's a thought. You know, if you did want to sell prints more, then maybe do some smaller ones. But the only trick is photographing a large piece and shrinking it down to a print. Your quality is going to still be great, but getting something small and blowing it up, as long as you don't blow it too big, you've just got to be careful. You really need to make sure you get a good quality scan of that image. Okay. So yeah, Mix Sam is on there. Okay, how do I keep all my work safe when you don't frame it? I keep mine I use foam board. So foam core, foam board, gator board. It's like a foam board, and they're about 5 millimeters thick. I get it from a place here called Office Works, but you could even use core flute maybe, but core flute can bend. Foam board, 5 mil thick, is very hard to bend, so it's really good. And then I sandwich two pieces together essentially, and my work is stored in there. So I put my artwork in, then I put a piece of glassine. So this is glassine paper over the top, and then another piece of artwork face down, and then another piece on top, piece of glassine, and I just build it up that way. Okay. Glassine is shiny on both sides, and any art shop will sell it. So just look up glassine. Okay. But that's how I keep mine. So I've just got multiple foam board folders that I've made, that I've got a really large one for larger pieces. I've got smaller ones, and I just stack them in there. Yeah, Vivian, it won't look the photo once you expand it, depending, like I wouldn't take that and turn it into a wall mural. Okay. I would go maybe 40 centimeters or 30 centimeters square. But the trick is you've got to have high resolution photo. So it doesn't lose its quality when you expand it. So you want something at least over 2 megabytes. So either our phones now take really high quality photos. That would probably be enough when you expand. Otherwise, your good DSLR cameras. But taking good photos of your work, that's another whole subject. So we can chat about that another time. But just make sure, yeah, it's nice and flat against, like, parallel to your camera. So sometimes you could stick it to your wall, make sure you've got good lighting either side, and then maybe use a tripod with your camera and make sure there's no shakiness or anything. There is an app I was going to share. It's called Photo Scan app. I'm not sure if it's Android. It's definitely, I've just typed it in. It's called Photo Scan. Let me see if I can find the picture and just show you. Oh, hold on. Photo scan. All right. Let me see. Can you see? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. This is the what the app looks like. It's called Photo Scan, and it's like got blue on it. Oh yeah, I think you can see that. Okay, so it's like a blue square with a little white circle. Okay, so oh, sorry. Hopefully you saw that. I didn't realize it had changed. So oh, it is available for Android as well. But Photo Scan, you take a photo in Photo Scan, and it does seem to do a pretty good resolution, but just have a play with it. Farley said foam board is at the dollar store over in Canada. No, Alexandra, you wouldn't get. I haven't seen foam board in a dollar store here in Australia. Farley's in Canada. Images, yes, you do. Farley, you need the best image resolution. But like I said, I'm not talking about blowing it up miles. But yeah, so you can go with the big painting and blow it down, or if you want to just focus on some prints and you don't want to spend, months painting big, you can just do smaller ones. So, oh, thanks, Jennifer. There you go. She's shared the actual links to PhotoScan app. All right. Let me find my notes. I've totally lost them and I've probably gone off track totally. All right. Okay, so yes, so an art, I mean, we'd all love our own art studio in a tourism town. Like that's goals, isn't it? But of course, not all of us can get to that. But what you could do is market and target tourism areas and get into other people's stores, I suppose. So I wanted to share my screen and show you when I was in Scotland. Well, let me just share. I don't know. If anyone's been to Scotland, you'll have probably driven past the Kelpies. The huge, they're enormous. They're a sculpture by Andy Scott. Like they're the size of high-rise buildings, like they're huge. But this who are they called? Jackton Art. Let me just check my phone. All right, let me just, sorry, I'm just not sure if my screen has shared there. Let me go back into this. We shall, oh God, stop share. And then let's go this way. Share, okay. So Jackton Art, it's the guy here, David, who does the drawing. So he does these beautiful graphite pencil drawings. And he did the ones of the Kelpies, and then his daughter, I think it was, she puts different backgrounds on them as well. Okay, so quite interesting, their story. But now let me go back. I just want to go to the Kelpies now. The picture there. Share. Okay, so this is his original drawing of the Kelpies. So he obviously sat there at the monuments and sketched it. Absolutely beautiful. But I went into, now the Kelpies are like thousands of people a day go to this. It is huge. You drive past on the highway, you see them there. So you've got to stop. Of course, they have this beautiful information like cafe right there. And they're like literally busloads of people every day are going. And they have these prints there in their shop. Okay. So they have the originals right there, prints. And they're not limited edition signed archival, gonna last your lifetime prints. They're just, I think they're £30, something like that, so $60. Um, yeah, but I didn't buy one, but they have the original, then they have these other options. So that's like a night sky behind. This is what I was saying, the daughter digitally puts different backgrounds on them. There's that one. They're beautiful. They look amazing, but it's pretty cool the way. Oh, I've gone the wrong way, I think. How yeah, let's go the other way. From one sketch, they've given quite a few options. There's about five. No, I think there's about four or five all up. And and they're all available in this tourist, like the information center that has thousands of tourists a day wanting to buy something from the Kelpies to remember it by, because it is quite amazing to go and see these things. I bought the actual book of how the statues were made and everything, the sculpture was made. I didn't buy a print, but just from one, it was just an idea I thought to tell people that even if you're not living in like you don't have a tourist shop, like a studio right in a tourist zone, these guys have created this artwork and then obviously approached the information center, or if you actually read on their site, they do get commissioned. So whether the Kelpies like place there commission them to do that, and then they've probably bought, they probably buy up front those prints and put them in the information center. Like I said, they'd be selling hundreds a day. And like, what a great turnover. And when you go to their website, the Jackton Arts website, just let me, I will copy that. Okay, copy, paste, paste. Yeah, they just sort of say he draws monumental things in Scotland. So points of interest, tourism places, and he travels around Scotland, draws them. Then his daughter, whoever it is, puts different backgrounds on, modernizes them, I suppose. But then I suppose he could, even if you're just starting out, you can then approach all those information tourism places with your art and say, look, I've drawn a painting of this castle, and just go and approach them, even if you don't live in that area. So he does all of Scotland, but you could limit that to just your area. And I know Viv did that with her greeting cards, and she's got work in the local Coonabarra Brand Information Centre. And you've got to just get out there. I know it's scary, but even an email and research, find where you want to approach. Maybe then do the drawings with that idea in mind. Or if you do a lot of maybe local, this is very basic, but say if you're in Hervey Bay and you drew a lot of whales, okay, they're known for their whales. You could then approach different, like the information center in different places. And you could even, do your painting and do a mock-up with like Hervey Bay and a little slogan or whatever on it, just to show them how your art can be perceived for that tourist destination. Okay. So yeah, it's not Jackson Art, it's Jackton Art. Yeah, that's right, Viv. So Vivian was saying she took it upon herself to approach the people, but they pay for it's not a commission sale. So a lot of times when you put artwork in a place, when it sells, like you get your money and they keep a commission. But a lot of these bigger, like government-owned places, especially, they will purchase upfront 100 of your greeting cards, or 100 of your prints. So you're getting paid straight away. It's not on a commission basis, and then they put it whatever price they want on it. So yeah, they're pretty good to get into, 100%. So that was, yeah, just little things. Keep in mind, this is all coming from when I was in Scotland and saw these prints, I thought, wow, what a great thing to get into. And then when I looked on their website, yeah, they some artists sit back and don't promote, others get out there and get their stuff out there. And sometimes, like, yeah, there might be better artists that you never see, but it's the ones that actually market their work really well. They're the ones you see all the time. So let's go back to my notes. What is the time? 9:30. All right. I have some in a gallery on commission, so a trickle of money coming in. Yep. Yep. You have to paint appropriate images that suit the tourism market. Exactly, Viv. So sometimes it's better, like I said, before you even start the painting, if that's the direction you want to go, maybe go and research the area that you're approaching, and make sure you're doing paintings of that area. That you got to think in the mind of a tourist. What are they going to want? So say again, Harvey Bay, they're not going to want probably a picture of a kangaroo because they're everywhere. But whales are more unique. The humpback whales in particular, of course, are more unique for that area. So you just got to, yeah, do some research, I suppose. And if you live in that area, then better yet, you know what's going to work. And also think along the lines yourself. I know when I was traveling in my caravan, I went into every information center I could find. And yeah, it was more the small things, like a little print like that, and one that's not too expensive. Stubby coolers, little magnets, stickers, little things like that, because you don't have room for too much stuff. Okay. All right. So why would we turn one piece of artwork into many products? So it is to maximize our effort, of course. So we've already put the love and time into the piece. So why not let it shine in different formats? And it's, yeah, a better way to make money as well. It gives more accessible options to people. Not everyone can afford an original, but they might buy a print, a card, or a mug. And as you get better at art and your prices go up, that becomes even more true, because once you're selling your larger originals for thousands, so my larger pieces are usually all over 2,000. I'd like to get that price up a lot more. So it makes it way more, you've got totally different markets there. So people that can afford thousands on an original, they're a different market to those that still they love your work, but they want it, but they can't afford thousands, of course. So it really does make your smaller, less expensive items a lot more appealing to people when they know, people perceive money like, if you might not even be the greatest artist, but if your large originals are like $10,000, then they think they're getting a bargain when they can buy something for $10, So yeah, but your prices will go up as you get better and better with your art, of course. All right, and of course it builds brand recognition. So when your work shows up in different forms, then people will remember it, and you, of course. So the more you've got things, I'm going to go grab it actually, on different products, you're entering different markets and people starting to recognize your name. I've got some of my artwork on diamond.art, which I think I know where it is. Just bear with me. I will go and grab it. Okay, so I was approached by an American company actually to see if they could put some of my work on Diamond Dot Art, which if you haven't heard of it, there you get like a lot of they're little diamante things, and you stick them all over the print. And it's a special print that has, I think it's sticky. I've never done one, my daughter does them, but they sent me this so I could see, like, have a go at it and see if I liked it. I'm upside down. This is a turtle painting I did, which they've turned into a diamond dot art, which when it's done, it will look amazing, I think. But it's huge and I've never done it before. And look at the amount of little diamante things in it. So I'm going to get my daughter to help me. But this is just an example. So now people that love doing diamond dot paintings, they see it that, oh wow, I must be a credible artist because I'm on a different item like that. Okay. My artwork's on something different. It's like when you see artists' works on jigsaw puzzles and things in shops. Once your name starts to get out there more. Okay. So that's another reason why turning that one piece of art into different products. What's Kim got? Mugs are a great idea, but you have to be careful that they're dishwasher proof as artwork fades. Very true. And most people have dishwashers now. So you did hubby one Christmas, but after dishwasher, it faded. Yeah. You're concerned at the environmental impact on those things. Plastic. I'm not sure what you mean there. Are you talking about the diamond dot or are you talking about something different? I'm not sure. You'll have to clarify that. Vivian, I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, so so that's another reason to build brand recognition. Okay, so here's got a list here of some ways to reimagine your artwork. So some different products. So wall art, of course, like we said, art prints, mini prints, like I showed you. And canvas as well. Think about that. Then stationery and gifts. Oh, yes, the little, I was going to say the actual diamond dot, that's a canvas. Okay, so that's like a big canvas, but yes, these are little plastic dots. It would be nice if they're recycled, actually, recycled plastic, which I'm not sure if they are, but there's probably no reason they couldn't be recycled. I should look into that. But yeah, they are little bits of plastic. Hopefully people don't put it in the rubbish anyway. I suppose over time they would eventually. Isn't it? Yeah, the dime. Yes, been watching Striving carefully, of course. Oh, okay, Kim, they're like glass. Yeah, it'd be cool if they were recycled plastic. I should look into that. Because yeah, any plastic recycled is good, isn't it? Okay, sorry, I'll get back to my list. I get sidetracked. So stationery and gifts, so greeting cards, notepads, calendars, bookmarks, stickers, gift tags, home and lifestyle products would be mugs and tea towels and coasters, cushion covers, tote bags, phone cases, mouse pads, You can even get your art turned into a shower curtain or a blanket. You know, there's so many things. Apparel is like t-shirts and hoodies, aprons, hats, fabric patches, pins. You know, there's just a never-ending list of things that you could put your art on. And if you go to some of these print-on-demand sites like Redbubble or Society6, you'll see all the ideas. They're print-on-demand companies that you can get your artwork printed onto them, but it gives you ideas as well. So create other ones were journal covers. You could also use it for packaging for your own product, of course. Like I bought stuff from a Tasmanian artist called it's Pigment by Monica Reeve, and she sends out with all her orders a little postcard with her artwork on the top, and then on the back all her details, which I have one for my creative barn as well. But I thought this was quite beautiful actually. And you know, they're just printed with "thank you for your order," and then she just handwrites the customer's name and just a little signature, which makes it very personalized. And that way you can do a print run of like 1,000 and then just make them personalized by just doing that little bit of writing. Business cards, of course. If you're not sure about your art, putting your art on something, it's a bit scary and you've never done it, these were just done in Canva. So Canva's free, of course. You can get the paid version, but there is plenty on there for free. They're a bit smaller than a normal business card. They might offer normal size, but I didn't realize until I got them. But for 500 of these was $50. And you can get an even smaller. I think there was a $30 option one as well. So if you're not sure and you want to give it a go, putting your art on something, you could do yourself some little business cards, and it wouldn't cost much. So yeah, but just little things like that as well. You can use your art on your own packaging and things like that. And it is very nice to when you are selling work or selling prints, to have something that the customer can use and enjoy, but also have all your details on it as well. Okay, so they're likely not to throw something like that out. They're more likely to put that in a little frame or stick it on their fridge or something. Okay. Vivian, a friend of yours, has your possum. It's a bag and she loves it. Yeah. Oh, a deck of cards, Karen. That's a good idea. Cushions, yeah. Can't write fast enough for the multitude of product ideas. Definitely. Actually, I did have a question which I've lost what I was going to ask you guys. What product would you love to see your artwork on? And also, have you tried turning your art into merchandise at all? What product would I love to see my artwork on? I'd like to see it on jigsaws in a shop. That would be cool. In what's the one that can't remember the name of the shop now, but you see jigsaws in there, which would be cool. Anyway, Farley, you need a market to showcase your products or a very large family. Quantity dictates your price and the outfit that produce them for you. Yeah, definitely. The more you produce, the cheaper they get, of course. Pencil cases. Pencil cases, yeah. Actually, that's what I bought from Monica. They were the most gorgeous pencil cases, all with her different artwork on it. They were for gifts for my art retreat people last year. I think it was last year or the year before. Yeah, so of course, yeah, but you can start off ordering smaller quantities And then as you get more and more known, your quantity price will go up. So your profit, your original selling price may stay the same, but your profit will increase as you can order more. But like I was saying, if we were talking earlier, for those that don't have a studio right in a tourist area, you could target those bigger tourism places and information centers and that, and get a feel for how many they would like. You know, you might be lucky enough and they might go, oh, they're perfect for us. We'll order 50 or 100 or whatever. And then that order can grow and grow as they sell their work. So Kerri, who had that art studio in Tasmania, she was saying with her prints, um, she orders though the canvas in the float frame prints, she orders as she sells. So as one goes out, she orders a new one and it's at her studio within a week. So then she just fills the hole, I suppose. So that's how she does it. She doesn't buy in bulk of those because they'd be too costly. But of course your little prints, wherever I've put mine, the smaller prints, you could buy those in bulk, of course. A t-shirt you'd like yours on. Very cool. Hi, Mako. Okay. All right. Let me go back. I'm getting there. I'm getting sidetracked a lot as usual. Okay. So I've got just a few sort of action steps, I suppose, of how to make it happen. So first off, I suppose you want to look at choosing the right artwork. So this is where we've been talking about choosing the right artwork for that tourism area. Or also, Kerri was saying a lot of her biggest sellers are food paintings, like, you know, with the tablecloth with different food items. So and that sort of targets a younger market. So you might not be in a tourism area, but choosing the right artwork that would sell to more contemporary, modern market, which is kind of, I feel like a lot of young people nowadays, they spend a lot of money. Like they always whinge that times are hard, they don't have any money, but they do spend a lot of money on making their house look Instagram worthy. You know, they always have to. I know my daughter's like this in the caravan. It's got to look like it's out of a Vogue magazine, you know, or House and Garden. Whereas my first house and this house, there's pretty mismatched. I'm not taking photos of my house, but you know, that seems to be what these younger generation love, like a lot of pride in their houses. And so choosing the right artwork for the market that you're aiming at definitely is number one priority, I suppose. So what artwork is going to work best? So make sure it's high quality. The composition needs to be good. It's got like, you know, pretty clean, minimalistic. That sort of thing is the market, I feel like, again, for younger people. But if your market is totally different, you might be marketing, you know, bird lovers or something like that. You got to, like I said, you got to do your research, figure out what your market is, and also you want to be painting what you love to paint too. Don't be completely directed by sales. Make sure it is something you want, and of course, like we always say, the emotion and the storytelling always helps with artwork. So choose something that could appeal to a wide audience or has a strong theme. So, you know, certain animals, florals are very popular, landscapes, especially for tourism, like, you know, like the Bay of Fires, you know, something like that. Yeah. So, it also maybe if you wanted to target a zoo, say, you could, which one of my students, she volunteers in America actually. She volunteers at a zoo. So a lot of her reference images are from the animals at that zoo. And like I've talked to her before about approaching them and seeing if she could do prints in their shop. So, even as animal lovers and animal artists, you could definitely still be drawing what you love, but your market is go and approach some zoos or wildlife centers or even anywhere. Yeah, one of my students is going to Dog's Day Out or something and setting a stall up there. So it's all dog lovers. So, which is perfect for if you want to do pet portrait commissions, of course. What's Viv got? I do cards and prints, and people purchase bags, pencil case with your work. Saw some awesome umbrellas. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, it does need to work as a pattern for sure. Guild t-shirts. Michael's in North America sells Gildan t-shirts at $6 a piece. Mako, I'm in Queensland, Australia. You can tell the accent. Okay, so first of all, we want the right artwork. God, I better hurry. I feel like this Zoom's gonna only booked it for an hour. So then we need to brainstorm product possibilities. So figure out what you want to put your artwork on. So like your canvas prints, your greeting cards, your t-shirts, your mugs, magnets, phone wallpapers, all that stuff. Then you got to figure out the design considerations, of course. You might need to crop it to suit certain products, like phone cases need to be in a portrait and a certain width and height, whereas your painting might be a square like that. So if you wanted to do that on a phone case, you would have to crop it and more this way, and it may not work. So you need to figure out what paintings you have that will work for that product. If you're using new paintings, so if you're going to paint for the product, then make sure you're painting it in the right size proportion. Okay, so then figure out where you're going to sell them. And also where you're going to get your prints made. So you need to do research on any local printers or any big printers online. Suppliers like that do mugs and all of that stuff. I know I got I don't know if they still do it, but Kmart used to print on mugs, and you got the mug and the print all done for like $6 each. They were really good, but I don't know if they still do that. That was about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe, that I got those done. And then like selling platforms, like I said, you're either approaching your tourism or doing market stalls, all that, or you're doing online with your own website or Etsy store, exhibitions, approaching shops, all of that stuff. You could also do bundle gift ideas, so gift packs. So for Christmas, you could bundle maybe a mug with your artwork and some hot chocolate sachets and I don't know, a tea towel maybe with your artwork. You could create gift packs for different, a Mother's Day, all that sort of stuff, or theme sets. And then, of course, is presenting your products. So you need to photograph and take good products, especially if you're photographing to put on the internet, because when people are buying online, they only buy from the photo. Okay, they can't actually see it. So you need excellent photos showing all the different sides and angles, showing it in use, in situ, like all of that stuff. So that's let's go back through when I'm so there was choose the right artwork. I'm going to put this in a blog post and I'll share the link to that so you can come back to it. I'm also probably going to do a little checklist as well. So choose the right artwork, brainstorm your product possibilities, design considerations. Number 4 is where to sell or where to get it printed. And then number 5, presenting your products. Okay. So let me see what else we've got. You could partner with other local artisan companies with a gift pack. Yeah, good idea. Cheese, tea towel, cards, whiskey. Yeah, great idea, Viv, especially if you're in an area, yeah, that does local, which most little towns do. There'll always be some little artisan doing like whiskeys, especially now there's so many doing gins and whiskeys and yeah, cheeses and chocolates and, yeah, definitely partner with it. And your tea towel could go perfectly with that. Or I know, yeah, there'd be different, like some people that do woodwork, that a cheese knife or something, Anyway, there's endless possibilities. It's getting those thinking caps on, I suppose. But hopefully, let me see. I think that is everything that was on my list. So yeah, so turning one artwork into multiple products. It's not just smart, it's fun and rewarding to see your art on different products. And you're giving your art more ways to shine, of course, and reaching people that may not otherwise discover your work, especially if you can get it into an information center or somewhere like that. So whether you're creating for income or for gifts or just for joy, it's a great path to explore, because even if you don't want to sell it, it's the perfect Christmas gift for people. I do my calendars there. I order a few more than I need, but usually I order just the calendars are for all my family and friends. And that sort of goes along with their Christmas gift. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be for money, of course, because we're not all in it to make money. But yeah, it's always handy if and it's just, yeah, it's something to think about if that's what you want to do. Okay, so go out and do some research, I suppose. Research what's in your area, who you want to sell to, and then sort of start thinking about what the paintings are that you want to create, and get outside and go and find, especially if you want to do local flowers and stuff. Just go out into your backyard and start foraging and finding really fascinating things that you love, and start creating paintings of that, and then go and approach your local tourism places, I suppose. So all right, guys, I hope I haven't rambled too much. I hope I've given you some good ideas. I think I've shared everything I needed to share. And I will let you know when I finally get my canvas print of this. I'll share it and show you how it turned out. Because the photo I used for this was taken on my phone. So we'll see. Fingers crossed it turns out pretty good. All right, thanks again for joining me. And I will talk to you all next week. Okay, all good. All right, I'm just reading some comments. Yeah, Viv, I can't wait to see it as well. So, all right, before this shuts down on me, I will say goodbye. And yeah, I'll talk to some of you guys in the membership tomorrow. Oh, don't forget, there is a link in here for those that are new. There is a link in the comments that I'm running a 7-day free trial of the Creative Barn Essentials tier. So if you want to have a go at doing any of the tutorials that I put out, get on there and trial it out. So the link is in the chat. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.